Hi, Mr. Smiles.
Nice to meet you.
Ryan Fair with ADP. How are you doing?
Doing well, thanks.
Do you mind if I take a seat?
Yeah, take a seat.
Thank you so much. Now, I know that we had an appointment scheduled for 20 minutes. Is that still okay for you?
I think that'll work.
Perfect. Here is my business card. Do you happen to have one for me as well?
Yes, I do.
Wonderful. No, I couldn't help but chuckle on my way over here, realizing how similar our businesses are to another. We're both in the business of smiles, actually. So your smiles are a little bit different. You build those smiles by your exceptional dental work. At ADP, ours are different because we do it through taking on the administrative tasks of every business owner, but allowing them to focus on their business and get back to doing what they do best, ultimately giving them a better smile.
Right.
So that's really what I want to do for you today. Just as if you have an x-ray that you use to kind of identify areas in a patient's mouth that might be having some problem areas, I'm going to use my x-ray, which is this roadmap here.
Okay.
So what I'd like to do today is kind of identify what it is you're looking for. We're going to talk about a couple different areas that we do, what we specialize in ADP, and identify areas that you could be having problems, and together see how we can provide value for you.
Okay.
And if you do see the value and the price is right, we'll talk about the next steps. How does that sound?
That works.
Great, I'm excited. So I looked on your website that you do have one location, correct? And you have about 9 different employees, is that correct? Wonderful.
And we are looking to maybe hire 1 or 2 more people. And
oh, excellent.
Hopefully expanding into a new location.
How great. Congratulations. That must be showing that business is going very well.
Yeah, we try.
Now, is there anybody else you would like to have to this meeting, apart from yourself?
No, I mean, I'm pretty much the main decision maker.
Okay.
No, we'll run things by my wife, but she's mostly in the back.
What's her name, if you don't mind me asking?
Kim.
Kim? Okay. Put her down here. Wonderful. And as far as the decision criteria when choosing to do business with another company, what are some elements that you're looking for?
Well, I mean, right now we're kind of piecing things out a little bit.
Okay.
As far as shared responsibilities for compliance, we'd like some upgraded technology, so we'd kind of like everything to be in one place if possible.
Okay.
But you know, our current payroll company doesn't do some things, so we don't know what exactly ADP's payroll company.
Understood.
What else you guys even do?
Okay. Who do you use right now for your payroll, if you don't mind me asking?
Centerpoint payroll.
Centerpoint, okay. And do you process your payroll bi-weekly?
The majority of us are weekly, and then some of the doctors take a monthly payroll salary.
Okay, wonderful. Now, you mentioned earlier that you're looking to kind of work on your HR compliance. Kind of share with me a little bit more about what you're doing currently.
Well, right now I'm kind of wearing all those hats. So if there's a question, you know, I don't really have someone to call, or sometimes we pay an attorney to kind of help us with background checks, HR questions, and then Affordable Care Act compliance, things like that. How
much time do you spend researching the Affordable Care Act, OSHA regulations, things like that, would you say?
Maybe a couple hours.
Couple hours?
Yeah.
Okay, and is that every week or just throughout the month?
Yeah, I'd say I probably spend about 2 hours a week on the payroll and compliance aspect of things.
Now, have you had any problems in the past with compliance issues?
Yes. So the Department of Labor actually came in last year.
Oh, really?
And they fined us for, I guess, new hire reporting. We didn't know what we had to do.
Really?
So when you hire a new employee, you have to send in some forms to the state. But of course, our payroll company told us that's not something that payroll companies handle.
Right. Okay. So understood. And if you don't mind me asking, how much was that fine?
After it was all said and done, it was about $10,000 fine.
$10,000. Okay. That's quite a bit of money. Now, ultimately, how did that make you feel, having that fine?
We'd probably have that new location by now if we didn't have that fine.
Okay, so that money could have gone towards that new location.
Absolutely.
Understood. Now, you said that you mentioned that there's 2 hours that you're spending every single week on that payroll. Ultimately, that's a good, 8 hours a month? Or no, more than that even. So that's quite a bit of time. What could you use that time for instead?
Probably marketing.
Marketing,
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, revenue generating activities, kind of getting back to what I do best.
Okay. Now, you also mentioned that you're looking to have something all in one place. So is that in regards to your payroll?
Well, the payroll, and then we'd like to hear more about the HR that you guys can offer, if any.
Great.
We actually pay our accountant to do the monthly and quarterly tax filings.
Okay.
We kind of keep him on a $5,000 a year retainer.
Okay.
So our payroll process right now is fairly simple.
Mm-hmm.
A couple hours a week, compile the hours.
Okay.
Send it off to the accountant. He tells us how to schedule the monthly and quarterly tax filings.
Okay.
So again, I don't think any payroll companies really handle everything. So that's why we're looking at our options.
Great. Well, I'm glad that you're looking around. As far as the tax liability, have you guys had any problems with audits in the past, or is everything flowing pretty well with that?
Pretty well. So no real penalties outside of the HR.
I'm glad to hear. Now, you said that payroll processing is pretty fluid in that regards. What about the time and attendance portion?
I mean, right now it's manual.
Okay, it's manual.
Know if you guys offer anything?
We do, yes, and we can talk about that if you're interested in it.
I think so.
Okay,
Maybe
perfect.
You want to learn more about?
So you guys right now do a login or like a timekeeping?
Old school.
Punch bag.
Clock in, clock out.
Have you had any problems with employee theft in the past? Time theft, I should say.
Yeah, I guess that's what it was called.
Okay.
So we had to let a few people go, and of course that cost us time and energy and HR. So.
Wow, you've had to let people go in the past because of that time theft.
Yeah, they were clocking in and out for each other. So.
I'm really sorry to hear that. It must be difficult.
Yeah, I mean, you think you can trust these people, but you can't.
Absolutely. Well, we want to talk about how to fully eliminate that time theft possibility. So let me write that down. So we've really identified quite a bit of areas that you're currently experiencing some challenges, but a lot of cost as well. Okay, so you told me that right now you're spending about $5,000 to pay your accountant to make sure that you guys are paying your tax liabilities. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. In addition, you're spending about 2 hours on the HR compliance, but ultimately that's causing you a lot of stress because you're having to wear so many hats. As a business owner, you don't want to do that, right? As far as the payroll processing, we'll talk about how we can do an integrated solution that's going to tie in your time and attendance into your payroll, okay? But in addition, it's going to eliminate the possibility of time theft because right now you've had in the past having to let go of employees, which you don't want to do. You build up relationships with them. Now, also, I want to talk about onboarding. You said in the past that you have done background checks. Is that correct? Would you be interested in looking further into that?
Yeah, I mean, if it's any better than just paying, a legal firm to do it. But
is that expensive? I haven't really delved into that.
$40, $50 per employee.
Okay, per employee. Okay. Which can get a lot if you're having to onboard more employees because you're having to fire them for time theft, right? So it's a never-ending cycle. Okay, great. And you mentioned that you've also had a fine of new hire reporting. So ultimately, this is costing your business quite a bit of money.
Right.
So if you're able to find a company that was an integrative solution that provided you values in all these different areas, would that be something that you'd be interested in looking further into?
Yeah, I mean, that's why we're here.
Great, great. Well, I'll tell you how we can do that. So I want to start from the very beginning with the time and attendance portion, okay? Let me get out my materials here. So we have a couple of different options as far as keeping time. So right now you said you have a badge. What I would recommend in order to completely eliminate the possibility of time theft is to have a biometric clock. Okay, this is going to be requiring your employees to have a thumbprint or a fingerprint, essentially. So I feel like that would be the best option for you.
Okay.
How does that sound?
I mean, it's a little scary, but I guess technology's come a long way.
Okay, kind of explain to me what's scary about that to you.
I mean, do you guys have another system that doesn't, require someone's laser fingerprint scan or anything like that?
Absolutely, we do. If that's something that doesn't make you too comfortable, we have a couple of different options. We do have the badge card, and then we have a web timesheet.
Is that like installed on the computer system when they log in?
Would you prefer something like that?
Something like that,
okay.
Probably.
Definitely. That one would allow you to have just a program that they can log in an ID, and it'll clock their time in. Okay? So that one, I'll mark that as something that you would prefer. Okay, and then from there, the time is going to be integrated into your actual payroll portion, which I'll show you on our demo.
So no more having to manually calculate the hours?
Would you prefer if it didn't?
No, I mean, obviously if that would give me some time back.
Absolutely. So how much time do you spend having to calculate all those?
I mean, hours.
Hours, yeah. Imagine having all that time back in your hands. Not only that, stress-free, that there's no mistakes and calculation errors. Because that can ultimately cost you a lot of time and money. So from here, we'll talk about payroll, okay? I'm going to show you how this solution is going to be very, very simple and easy. You're not going to spend hours and hours, okay, on it.
Okay.
So we're going to go ahead and click Resume Weekly Payroll. It's going to bring up the time period that you want to be in. So for instance, this one is for April 10th. Go ahead and click Resume right there. And then now it's going to bring up all the different employees that you have, okay? Now if you want to change one employee's time from salary to hourly, or change the amount of time that they worked, you're able to enter that in there, okay? So it's very simple and easy. Then we're going to go ahead and click Preview, Calculate, and you're all done. So compared to how much time you're spending right now, do you feel like this provides you a lot more available time to spend building that new location?
Yeah, it sounds like it would give me a few hours back each
Absolutely.
week. Yeah.
Great. Now, as far as the human resource management, I want to focus on that because there are a couple of areas that you identified to me are some challenging areas, okay? So we're going to explore that. We're going to go into this portion, the human resource management. HR Checkup allows you to go through all the different hiring procedures. You mentioned that you've had a fine in the past. That's going to be completely eliminated, the potential possibility of having another one, because these are all up to date, okay? You can go into the different hiring procedures that are going to make sure that you're still in compliance, okay? Also, you can do background checks in this area as well.
Oh, so you guys do background checks?
We do background checks, exactly. So would that be very beneficial for you to have both of those options within one simple solution?
Yeah, it would just save me from having to deal with an outside vendor.
Exactly. You don't have to send it out there. It's all done. Okay. In addition, we want to talk about employee record keeping as well as HR compliance. So all of that is going to fully eliminate your possibility of having any issues in the past, which you identified to me was a good $10,000 in that new hire reporting fee,
right,
as well as all the hours that you spend having to research. Okay, so can you imagine having a team of people that are making sure that you're in compliance so you don't have to? You just do what they share with you.
Someone I call and I get in this pool and get rerouted and someone from India picks up, or how does that work?
Okay, so kind of share with me your concern regarding that.
As far as how do I get the HR support? I mean, am I calling into somewhere? Is it like 9 to 5, and then if it's after hours, am I leaving a message, and then some help desk from India is picking up, or how does that work?
Understood. Okay, so you're wanting to know what exactly you would do about moving forward and knowing what it is you need to be compliant in and everything. Okay, that's a really great question. There's two different options. I should say two different ways. So one is this is going to be fully updated on what your compliance procedures need to be.
Okay.
So for instance, if you have a question about hiring, you go into this portion and it's going to answer your question there.
Okay.
If you have further questions that you're not really sure on the answer to and this won't provide you the answer, you can either call me or you can call our help desk, which is a 24/7-hour service. Now, you mentioned something about being sent to India. Yeah, really, really great point that you bring up. And I actually had a client the other day who had a very similar concern. They didn't want to be sent to somebody that wasn't going to understand what they said, or they couldn't understand them, okay? So really great concern that you bring up. And what they found is anytime that they called the 24-hour secure line, not only was their question answered, but they were answered by somebody that they could understand and communicate with, okay? So I'll actually leave this here for you, but does that clear up that concern?
Yeah, I mean, we just have a concern. ADP is this big company.
Okay.
We're a small company. We don't want to be, a small fish in a big pond.
Okay.
So that's one of our concerns, is kind of getting lost in the shuffle with ADP. Is we really like a hands-on, local support.
Okay, I fully appreciate that. So, like you mentioned, you want somebody that's going to value you just as much as a bigger company.
Grow as we grow.
Absolutely. Now, I fully understand what you're saying, because ADP is a large company. We have over 600,000 different companies that we work with.
Right.
It could seem like a big number. Now, I can guarantee to you that not only am I going to give you the service that you're deserving of, but so is our corporate office. Now, even though we have 600,000 companies, the majority of them are small businesses such as yourself. And also, I have another business owner. Do you know Joe's Pizza down the street in Buckhead?
I've been there a few times.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, they had a very similar concern as well. They weren't sure if they would be treated like they should be.
Right.
And what they found is that they were. They were valued just as much as any other large company.
So I will have your cell phone and I can call
Absolutely.
you.
Yes. Okay. So right on my card has my personal cell phone number on there. So you'll be able to call me at any point in time.
Okay.
Does that clear that up for you?
Yeah.
Great, great. So we've really talked about a lot of different ways that we can provide you value, both in time and as well as finances, okay? So let's just recap. Right now, you said that you've had a fine of $10,000 in the new hire reporting. We're going to eliminate that by having our HR solution, up-to-date compliance issues, as well as a 24-hour customer line, okay? As far as the time and attendance, we're going to reduce the possibility of time theft.
Yep.
Okay, so I didn't realize, but if your employee's still 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, I'll actually bring up the sheet. It can cost you a lot of money in the end. I'll show you. So how much do you pay your employees right now?
I mean, on average, maybe $50,000 payroll each week.
Okay, let's say if you just paid them $8 an hour. If they stole 5 minutes clocking in, 5 minutes in the end, or sorry, 5 minutes when they're going out to lunch and 5 minutes when they clock out, just 15 minutes in the day, if you have just 5 employees, that's $3,000 in a year's time. Now, if you have 10 employees or even more, that number jumps up significantly.
So with ADP's system, would that be enforceable from a legal perspective, or is it more my word versus theirs, or?
As far as what area, I'm sorry?
Like if they're stealing time, like this time attendance, would it eliminate that?
It would, yes. Okay. It would eliminate that possibility, exactly. So does that clear that up for you, that question? Okay, good. So we're going to eliminate the possibility of that $6,000 that could be a potential cost in the future. As well as, because we are giving you we're putting the responsibility on our hands that if there are any problems in your tax liability, that's going to kind of eliminate this need of paying somebody else $5,000, okay?
Okay, so you guys will do the monthly and quarterly filings
Exactly.
now? Okay.
We would do all that. So when on the demonstration it pulled up all the different deductions that you would need to pay, we act as a savings account of which that would be taken out of your savings account from ADP. But we're fully responsible for that. So I'm going to write that down as well as a current cost of $5,000. So in total, right now your costs are $15,000. Let's talk about price. Oops. Okay. So for 6 to 10 different employees, $20 per pay period for a week. If you pay them weekly, it's going to be $1,597 per year. Okay? Now for the web or phone entry, it's only going to be $800, okay, per year. So I'm going to write that down. We have $1,597 plus $800, okay? So your yearly cost is going to be about $2,200, okay? As compared to $15,000 that you're currently spending per year, okay? So do you see how through our solutions that is fully integrated like you were looking for is going to provide you not only the benefits that you're looking for, but as well as give you the time and the money back in your pocket?
I think so, but we don't want to be locked into a contract or anything. Right now our current company lets us kind of go on a month-to-month basis.
Okay.
But I mean, I think I can see how it would be helpful. So
share with me a little bit about your concern regarding the contract.
I just don't know what y'all's contract looks like. Am I locked into a year, or is there any contract with ADP at all?
Great question. In fact, we do not have a contract at all. So it is a month-to-month basis. If you feel that we don't provide you the solutions that you're looking for, it's not a problem.
Okay.
So does that kind of clear that up for you?
Yeah.
Great. So with that being said, do you feel comfortable moving forward with implementing ADP payroll in your company?
I mean, I'd like for you just to kind of send me a proposal. That way I can discuss it with our accountant. You don't want to pull, the rug out from underneath him.
Absolutely.
He's still going to have to do our corporate returns and
fully
things
understand.
Like that,
so kind of explain to me exactly what you would like on that proposal.
Just an outline of the service, of the HR features, the cost,
write this down.
and then that way we can discuss it with the accountant and then see if it's a good fit for us.
Great. So with that being said, would you like me to set up a next appointment so that we can talk about the proposal after you speak with your accountant?
Yeah, that would work.
Okay, great. Well, I look forward to it. So let me write down all these points, and then I'll make sure that I send you that proposal via email. I have your email there. Okay. And I'll actually include a couple of pieces of information that you can provide him as well. So I'll put that in your folder.
Perfect.
Great. Well, I so much look forward to our next appointment. How about Wednesday at 9 o'clock? Would that work out fine for you?
Wednesdays usually are tough for us.
Okay.
Packed day with patients.
What about Thursday?
Thursdays are good.
Thursday? Perfect. Okay, great. Well, I look forward to seeing you then. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Great. Oh, wow. I ended it with 1 second.
Yeah, that was good.
That's wonderful.